here again. How is everybody doing? I am so excited to be here with you that I had to come early. So we did our lovely book earlier, okay? And if you didn't catch it all, it's super cute. I mean, it's just adorable. We want to talk about this just really quickly because I did a little video just 5 seconds ago, okay? And hello, Eve. How are you? It's finally Friday. Hey, okay, so I did the little book and I put a little belly band in there so that I can have an extra space. And there we go. Super cute, super darling. Oh my goodness. Look at what I just did. Yeah, babies. What do you think? I just put it together. Look at that. Okay, so I don't want to spoil the surprise. If you have not received your secret mystery box, don't come look. Stop where you're at and don't look, okay? Because I am opening up my mystery box. Now, I think most people already received it. I was kind of waiting for everybody to get it, but there's this gorgeousness in there that looks like this. Well, actually, I guess it should look like this. Ta-da! But let's see what I did. I turned it into a 12-inch. It wasn't easy, but I did it, and I'm super thrilled with it. I kind of had to do it twice to kind of play with it a little bit. And I'm loving these big holes. You know that I love a lacy die. And wherever my friend is, Debbie, this would also work for what we're doing tomorrow. Okay? Love it. I 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 know, Eve, you know exactly how I did this. All day long, you know how I did this. So I did this, and then I did this, okay? And I think it's super cute. I think this little die here is so darling cute. And I'm going to show you real quick how I put it together because I was having internet problems earlier. So I'm afraid that I might have internet problems again right now. But this is super important. So I want you to get it. I may or may not have already done the same thing. Yes, exactly. I know you have. Because your brain is on fire. Absolutely. So I'm going to move you over to my, what do we call this? My other station that I cut on. So hold on. I'm going to try to work the angle so that you can see what I'm doing. Hello, Dell. How are you? Okay, so I know Dell has already seen this trick before because we play with all kind of fanciness when we do Zoom classes. Hold on tight. Okay, so here is my station. And yeah, I was working this so much that it jumped out. So I'm just going to show you real fast what I did. First of all, this is not built to be a 12-inch because I'm trying to see if you can see me here. I've got this weird little stand here. Okay, so this is not made for a 12-inch because if you measure this, it is 7 inches, a little bit short than 7 inches. So it's hard to get the 12-inch thing to happen here. Okay, it's not easy for it to move around the way I want it to move around. So this is my 12-inch. I want you to look at it. Okay. Okay. And I want you to take a look and see if you can see that I added a tiny little bit of gold on the end because it's a little bit longer than 12 inches. And I would say you cannot see that unless you are Eve Young and can see that. Okay. But that is what I did. So when I did it with this one, you see how I kind of cut off that little tiny bit. Let's put them together so you can see the difference. Right there. Okay, you see how that little part will cut off at the 12 inches? So let me tell you what I did is I just got a random piece of paper like this one and I cut it off. And I used a tiny bit of wet glue. And I cannot see the comments. I'm way over here in a different station, so I cannot see the comments. I'm hoping that you're with me. If I lose you, which had happened earlier, I hope that I can do a part 2. Okay, so I just did that right there. Just a little wet glue. Weld those 2 little pieces of paper together. This is a very flat piece of magnet that I keep wrapping in Glad Wrap. And it is the short one, okay? So you have to get your ends together. The A plate, my metal plate, my magnet, okay? Now, I have to preface this with if your magnet gets messed up, I'm sorry. Okay, this is what we do when we experiment. I'm going to start on this end because it's prettier. I like to know where my end is. Okay, that sounds kind of not nice. Okay, so I'm going to hang off this piece that cuts. Okay, remember the rule. If your magnet piece is not in between the sandwich, then it doesn't cut. Are you with me? I hope so. So I'm pulling this down a little bit so that this part doesn't cut. Okay, now I'm putting my sandwich on the top. Okay, so that piece that is not sandwiched should not cut. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, this is what you learn at Martha's Paper Crafting. When you come to a Zoom class, we explore all kind of lovely themes that you wouldn't think of, but they're just so much fun. Okay, so here's this part. Now, and we take this part off. Okay, and I love the idea that I don't have to have like the big tweezers or the big roughy thing, because these are nice big holes, and I can kind of pull this off. I think this is going to be so pretty with what I'm calling my beach type of layouts. This little die here is going to be so perfect for beachy stuff. Okay, now let's talk about this right here. I'm hoping you're still with me. Let me go look at my laptop over there to see if anybody's with me. I'm thinking my internet might be on the blink, on the blinky blink. Let's go look at that. I hope you're here with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am always so happy to have you guys here with me. The Mystery Box Live is what we're doing right this minute. And let's see if we're doing... What in the world is it telling me? Ah, there. Okay. I'm so glad you're here with me. I can still see you. Okay, so this part did not get cut. Now, I really played with the edge of it, so it's cut right on that very edge. So now, I'm going to do this again. I'm dropping confetti all over the place. And you have to know where the end of your die is. Moving all of this out of the way. And our little magnet. Really, this is flatter than a flat tortilla. I mean, it's just... Now, this time, this part is going to hang out. Okay. Just like that. And I'm taking this lovely die and I'm putting it right on the edge. Okay. And you see how this part has that little welding spot that I kind of did earlier? Just like that. And then I put my little metal plate on top and this one on top of that. And my sandwich is right in there, and I'm trying to see if I can see if my magnet is where it's supposed to be, and I think it is. So you want to feed the one that doesn't have the paper hanging out into the machine, and it goes. Can you see that? It's going in. Okay. And we bring this out, and let's hope that it did it right. Okay, now we take these apart, and now this is a super fun little trick to stretch out your dies to make them look the way you want them to look. Oh, I'm so excited. A little bit of a hang up there, here and there, but not bad for a 12-inch die, because we're scrapbookers around here. Yes, we are. How about that, my lovies? How about that? Now, I am so excited, and you see here is the little weld, right? I'm even on my tippy toes because I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see this. Right there's the weld. Can you see it on this one? I would say no. Okay. Woo! Okay, I am so excited about that. So now we have two 12-inch strips, and you can make this the other direction, right? Can you get a whole big one and make it wider? Well, why not? Play with some paper. If you do it like this and you're not cutting off the edge, why not? Okay, so that's what we're doing with our lesson here for die cutting. That's what I wanted to show you, how to do this. This one didn't have that little tape on the end. I think I can still use it. I can probably take one of these that is a mess up and cut that little tiny piece off, right? Just like that. No big deal. I think that's still doable. Okay, so now let's move over to my desk so we can open up the rest of the mystery box, okay? I just wanted to show you that real quick before my internet. Now hold on tight because I'm moving you. There we go. Are you sure you want to end? No, cancel. We don't want to end. We're just starting. Hello, how are my dear friends there? Hey, we're opening up the mystery box. We're opening up all kind of lovely stuff. Like, here's this box, okay? This one was, oh my God, the binder, okay? I had to buy the binder to go with the cookbook, okay? I had to. So the binder's there now with the cookbook, okay? Had to buy that. And I haven't even opened this because I wanted to open this up with you. But I wanted you to have some value of coming over and taking a look and hanging out with me. Hello, Cindy. How are you? Yes, this is going to get a little twilly. Okay, and I do have them. I have a million twillies. So my girls, I'm going to see you in 60 days or less. And we're going to add twillies to our little handles. And where do you get the twillies? You get them on Amazon for like $1 or less. Let me show you what twillies look like. I know. They look like this. This room is a mess, okay? So here's 500 different twillies. They come like this and all kind of lovelies. Like, look at this one. It's so cute with the pink and it's just adorable. So, and then this one that's kind of retro-y. Yep, I love that. So we shall take our twilly and our little lovely. Oh, and I put at least a little bow, but you know we have all kind of lovely ribbons that can match the theme of what you're going with, okay? But this is what Anna Griffin says when Martha needs to put her twilly on her bag, because yes, I am. Now, I have not bought the big bag for my Elite, but let me tell you the difference, okay? Let me bring this to you because this is so stinking darling. And the big cover looks like this. Do you see the kind of aged old gold? This one is more of a platinum gold, okay? That's what you're doing difference. I know. Are we freezing? Are you with me? Hello. Okay, so there is this one, okay? And then it comes with a lovely cover. And I do not have the mini yet because it's not here yet till, when do they say they ship? They ship at the end of the month or at the end of, oh, like maybe this week, right? So this is what our lovely looks like. Wouldn't that be a cute little something, something? The cutest little toaster. And here is the color. You can see the difference now. Okay, here, aged gold, platinum gold, whatever your lovelies like. I have never bought the new one of this Elite for that, but, and there's my love. Okay, so we have our purse out. What else do we have? In here, we have the plates. I haven't even used them, and I will not use these until they get the Glad wrap on them, okay? Get your Glad wrap. It is so necessary to use your Glad wrap on these babies, okay? Because it will make these last longer. I think that all the little confetti comes off of it so fast that you can really work really well with that. And then the next one that I bought is the little plate, the spinner. I have never before bought the spinner. And I do pay for these things, loves, okay? They're not free. I pay for them. I have never bought these before, but I kind of really wanted it because I sit on it right next to me, and I've been missing this little compartment, okay? So I did buy the mini one because I think that the mini might be my new go-to because it's 4 inches, and I use, like, that's all I need, okay? And I did get an extra flower one. Isn't it cute? The flower one is just adorable. Okay, so there's the boxing and unboxing part of this world. Let's move over to my favorite part, which is the box. Okay, so if you don't want to watch next, the mystery box I'm unpacking. Okay, let's move over to that part and talk about paper and talk about design and how you want to use your paper. Like, let's make sure you can see, not me, the box. Okay, I'm sorry. Can you see that? You only wrap once. I wrap it several times, as many as necessary. Okay, as many as necessary. I wrap it to start one time, and then as I need to, I will wrap it again and again. And when it starts to feel like it's going down, I wrap it again. Like, yes, it's the Glad press and seal. Yes, that's exactly what I use. Okay. Well, you can see this. Look, that's what's on that right now. Do you see that? Oh, am I frozen? Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, that's the Glad wrap. That's old. I don't think I've wrapped them lately, but yes. Okay. Woo! Look at this, lovely. Okay, so this goes to my collection. Butterflies, teacups, pink galore. I love it. Okay. What do we think about when you look at this design? Okay, it all works together. There's no right or wrong with design that's so pretty and it stays in the same palette. Okay, but you also have to think about size, and the size of the print is what I like to say. Okay, so this print is kind of on the large side. This is even bigger. This one for me is kind of on the small side. This is bigger, but the cream in the back really can hold. This for me is a perfect tonal, but if you're going to go tonal with this one, then you want to go dark. 60, 30, 10 rule, 1 gallon, 1 pint, 1 cup, whatever you want to call it. You want one that is the darkest and then the lightest if you're going to stay in the tonal, and then super tiny. Look how pretty that looks. Tell me that's not gorgeous. Okay, and you can easily go to cream. Okay, or you can go to this one. Look at those three together. I'm just kind of throwing those things out at you. You can do whatever you want with your pages. I'm just telling you, a designer's eye will show you how to move easily. Look at the patterns of your clothes. Look at what you gravitate towards. It's going to help you figure out what to match with who and where. Okay. Now, does this loveliness work with ours? I think the butterflies. Maybe I love this one because it's a vine going up. And then maybe I would use this as just a little accent. Okay. Whatever, you know, like, see how that makes it? And maybe you could use your photo mats in this, or just the little flowers in between. Okay. Or maybe some butterflies. Oh, I'm talking so fast because I'm afraid that my internet might die. Okay. So here we go. Now let's pull these lovelies out and move this over to the side. And how many pieces of paper do we get to play with, you guys? 12, 24? I can't remember. And here's my lovely box. And my box, I love using this box as a shipping box. I think they're perfect to send out as a generosity gift, okay? Use your stuff up and send it away to the next lovely person. Yes, okay? Somebody needs it. Somebody wants it. Now, in the middle of the night when I'm dreaming or supposed to be asleep, I take my little design booklet and I'll put things in here that I might be dreaming about sleeping, okay? And I just pencil it in, okay? But you can see here is my design for tomorrow's class, okay? I kind of worked with that, okay? Thinking of what I wanted to do with it. All the little lovely hearts, okay? So I know it's in pencil and you can probably not see very much of it. It's just my chicken scratch. You see, this is another one that I was working on. And then, okay, so I like to look at those when I'm looking at my paper. So I love the idea of pink all over the place, right? And then this black goes with this one really well. Pink on pink on pink, right? And then maybe just a tiny bit of this black white on top. Do you see how beautiful that is? Oh, I love it. Love it. And I'm hot. I'm hot. Somebody help. Help me. It's caliente in my room. I just dropped the AC because, or I think I got cold, and so I changed the AC temperature. And hubby was going to say, what in the world were you thinking? Why did you make it hotter? I'm just looking at the paper because I think it's absolutely stunning. Like the paper is so, so pretty. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking of how I want to do this because I love all of it. Okay. And I like this one. You see how pretty that would go? And I don't think we need to do two. I think I want one. And I have pictures of us up here. Do you see? Doesn't even matter that we're not all wearing pink. Oh, but this would be perfect for the pictures from our pink day, right? Yes, they would be perfect for that day because that was just, everybody was in pink. So pink would be the perfect thing to do with that day. Okay, I am liking the dark pink in the very back. Okay, and I'm going to take this one and tell you my first thing that I do because I like things landing on stuff. And I did just drop this, so I'm hoping that my paper trimmer is still alive. I'm taking off a tiny little slither off of two sides. You see, it's not going to cut because I just dropped it. That's why you have to have backups, peeps. That's why you have to have backups. I just dropped it and I thought that. I said, oh, you see, that one cuts because it hasn't been dropped. And I'm taking a quarter off of each one. Gosh, I might have to just get used to doing this because I really like the way that Tim Holtz paper cuts. Okay, so there's my base. That's where I like to start, okay? But I don't want to use up all of this, right? So my trick to that is to cut out an inch. Oh, my inches are kind of weird here. Okay, I start right here and move down and stop at the inch, and then I go a little clockwise. Okay, stop, move up right there. So when you're trying to blend your paper in, decide what pick what you like. Pick what you like, but you need to have different graphics sizes. Don't pick them all itty bitty. You want some that are large. You want some that are big. Okay, so here I have to come in and cut the little edges. You want them to be a little bit different. You want some interest. That makes your paper look a little stale if all of your design, it's pretty because it's always going to match. That's the magic about of our Anna Griffin collections, right? They're always going to match, but it's going to look a little stale. Does that make sense? Ooh, I almost cut that off. And then I like this one on top. And do you see how we just did that? Do you see how we did that little fillet of whatever you call that, right? You see how that happened. And I know this is going to be a long video just because I'm in my head designing what I'm supposed to be doing. I have not practiced. I looked at the paper, but I have not put it together to see what's going on. Let me look and see what is my outline saying today to do. I needed my little outline, and let me see, where's my paper? Please, please, please. For today's little YouTube video, I like a little foam. We've talked about that before. To me, a little bit of the foam tape will give you that extra that you need to also, again, cause a little bit of dimension. I know that sometimes we don't want to do the foam because we're afraid that our pages are going to be too fat. Let's keep our diets away from our scrapbook papers. Let's just agree to do that. Okay, and here, and then I can cut this little piece off. Just like that. And that one has a little bit of showing, and I don't like when it's showing, but you know, we're going fast. So this is what happens when I go super fast. I'm going to have some spaces that I'm not going to like. And we'll put that right there. Okay. This foam tape is like the stickiest thing ever known to mankind. It sticks to my non-stick scissors. Like, that's just huge. Now, I realize that we have ribbon in this collection, and I love some good ribbon. You know that. I wish it was a big old long string of it, because I'm kind of thinking I've been wanting to wrap like my pictures in ribbon. You know, when we used to do a whole belt of ribbon on our photos or on our paper. Do you guys remember that part when we used to do that? So there we go. And I think I had one little spot right here that was sticking out, and maybe we can make that, fix that a little bit. So I'm pushing it in and then pushing it back down a little further out. It was just kind of a little bit sticking out. Now we have this one that I don't think it has a, or at least we can't really see that it has a top bottom. You know, I have that problem. So I am going to take a tiny bit of this here, and we're going to open up. Okay, so now also, I'm just kind of throwing this out there, but I think we need to start back on our Scrapbook 101. On Mondays at 3 o'clock, I was starting a Scrapbook 101 class, because guess what? Create May is just around the corner, and we need to get our scrapbook skills, you know, back on. I'm looking at this to see if it's the right spot. Right there. I think I like that. So, you know, we work on our scrapbooking skills, and, you know, that's like mitering corners, doing this little bitty fillet cutting, having our dies ready to go. That I think really helps us when we're in May Create. Okay. And let's push this over right there. Okay. And there we go. You see how we just have a tiny little fillet here that is working. So I'm kind of suggesting that we go back to our Monday 3 o'clock hour of 101 scrapbooking, like really nice and easy. Let's start from the beginning. as we start to get things a little more complicated. Let's start, mitering corners, practicing. Yes, at the end of a couple of classes, we should have a page built, but we don't have to build one in one set. Does that make sense? I think so. So look at how gorgeous that looks on there. And I have a little bit of hair here from my die because I was cutting it 2 or 3 times. You know that. So you kind of have to just take those and scratch them off. Yep. Just like, what do we call those threads when you're cutting, sewing? Okay, I think I got them all. And I kind of love that, okay? I love a good butterfly. And look at how gorgeous that butterfly is right there. Do you see how I would want to fussy cut that? Eve Young, do you see that? Don't we wouldn't have just fussy cut that's ivy right there, or the stem that's right there, and then put all the little, run it through this little trellis? I think that would be so fabulous. I do. I think that would be phenomenal gorgeous if that little trellis right there was cut up into fussy cutting. But that's like Eve Young kind of fussy cutting, right? Because that's not how I fussy cut. I would do it a really bad thing for it to fussy cut. But that would look gorgeous. And I am looking through. My next normal step is to find the frame, and then my next step is to find a fussy cutting, not a fussy cutting, a fancy paper trick that I would want to use for this. And I think the Plano box pleat is always my go-to. I just love it so. I do. Where's my others? My other papers, they went away. Did you guys put them away with my box? Or wherever my box went? Are you still here with me? Oh my goodness, my screen went away. I don't know where they went. The rest of my papers, because I'm allowed to change my mind, aren't I? They're not in the box. Ay, madre mía. Okay, so I was thinking if I did turn this into a paper pleating, a little paper pleating, that would be so pretty. I kind of just think that is calling me for those ruffles. Do you remember those ruffles that are really hard to make? I think that would be so pretty to make. And yes, that is an advanced move, and we already learned an advanced move, so I don't want to push the envelope more than I need to. I think that is not necessary for us right this minute. So we're going to do paper tricks. And for a paper trick on this, I would love like a single on top. Oh, this is just so fabulous. My brain is on fire. I'm sorry. I know I'm not making any sense, but this is what happens to my brain on scrapbooking. It's like, So I want to do, if this is already, look, let's decide this. If you're going to do a paper trick and we want to do it in the back of this one, then you have to decide how wide you want to go with it, okay? And here we are right under 2.75, so that's like a 3. So I'm thinking if I do 3.5, we'll get a quarter on each side. And I think that would be not enough, but then 4 would get too fat. So let's go back and do 3.5. I think 3.5 is the only way to go with this one. So we're taking this one, we're going to 3.5. And so here with me, you're going to learn all about fun paper tricks. You're going to learn about design and mixing patterns so that you feel confident to design on your own. And you don't know how much I want to fussy cut that. Please, 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 Eve Young, can you please fussy cut it for me? I can just see that into some kind of gorgeousness. And then we take these 3 Okay, and we're going to have to do a little fold, okay, and run this through, okay. I will take my little plastic here, and here's the other one, and run that through. And I kind of, last time I put too many papers in, it moved, so I don't want to do that. I'm just doing two, and I don't even think I want the metal shim. So we do the two plastics and we put them in. And when we're starting to think already of create, let's remember all the prep work that we have to do, like clean these mats, Martha. Cleaning these mats, straightening them out, making them flat. Remember, there's a Jennifer McGuire system of flattening out these lovely things. Her husband has figured out what to do for us. I think he's like a chemical engineer. Okay, so let's see. I'm putting this right back in so those lines match, okay? And there we go. And we're going to squeeze them all in there. I think I'm only going to need 2 of these, but you never know. And I see somebody saying, I don't know how Martha can talk so much while she's crafting. I love it, Sue. You just wait till I get you in a room alone and we are going to craft, and you're going to say, can she shut up? Does she ever stop? Okay, so here we go. You see how pretty that is? Does she ever stop talking? No, because listen, I grew up as an only child. Oh, we didn't take this one off. I have a sister and I have siblings, but I still felt like the only child. I played by myself. So therefore, I can entertain a whole army of people in my own little head, okay? Look at how gorgeous that is. Okay, so I'm going to move that over, and I'm not cutting the 3-inch yet. Okay, so now box pleating, you are going to start with one that comes out and you're going to fold and go in. Okay, so you're going to kind of end up with something that looks like this. Doesn't ever judges. Look, I just love Annie Pence. You guys all know that. She's my bestie. Okay, we talk so much. It's not even. I think we fight about who can talk the most. Yeah, the most, and the loudest is not necessarily the one that wins. Oh my goodness. Okay, so then we're bringing this one in, and this one we're going to secure to the next piece. Okay, do you see how that's going? It's just going up and down. Okay, and then over here we're going to attach the next little piece, and I always start on a fresh piece, so not on that spot or that spot, but I go in to one that hasn't been folded. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then I lost my glue over there by my cutting machine. I'm so glad that I did this little live because I hadn't unboxed my stuff. And I should show you guys before we leave. I should show you guys the mess that I have in my room. Yeah, and I have the Zoom class tomorrow. So it has to get cleaned up today. And I already said this was going to be a long one because I'm kind of starting a page from scratch. We're going to have to probably close this one up after this, okay? We're going to do this, finish this one up on Monday. I want you to go and do this part with me, okay? And then on Monday, we're going to do all the pretty little details to it. Okay, so do you see where I glued those two together? I'm trying to lift that up so you can see. I put the gluing part to the bottom, and if I lose you, remember that I will do a part 2 and just come back and find me. And I apologize for the inconvenience of the internet doing what it wants to do. And please, as soon as I get frozen, please, Candy will scream at me on the chat line, because I am lifting my head up and looking every once in a while to what we have going on. Now, sometimes what I like to do on the ends of these is I kind of make a little fancy cut, but I'm not feeling that because this die has such straight lines. So we don't do that, okay? Now, on the back of this, we do the score tape. You can also do, hey, I have new chicks. You can also use glue, but it's longer to dry and all that lovely stuff. I have new chicks. I haven't told you. Annie, I had them delivered yesterday. They came in from New Mexico. They're some kind of special breed that has little feathers on their heads. So we're super thrilled that they came, and they were nice and healthy. They come packed like in a little shoebox. It's so adorable. I felt horrible for them because, you know, it's a tiny little space, and there was 10 of them. 10? 2 of them did not make it, so they're in chicken heaven. And I have decided to name them, well, I was kind of taking name orders, but they're not going to be named after my hubby's girls, friends anymore. I'm kind of thinking that they're going to be named after meals. Like I have one that kind of has a little gray brown to her. They're basically all blonde, yellow, white kind of colors. And I was thinking that one, I was going to name her Marcella, Chicken Marcella, because she kind of has a little grayish mushroom look to her. Oh, anyway, so that is the stuff going on in my house right now. So yesterday was a big day, and I have to check on them every hour. That's why earlier I had to go, and I was doing a live, and then I had to leave because I had to check on the chickens. Yep, that's what happens around here. And they are adorable. They are in the air conditioning, but they have heat lamps on them. They're in the barn. They're not outside yet. Okay, do you see how I'm doing that? Since there's glue on both sides of this, it kind of holds on really nice and snug, okay? It's faster to me than your glue, but I do love glue for this as well. Alrighty, so let's see what else was on my list of all lovely stuff to talk about before my internet dies. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my soft launch weekend. So for my little website, I have a little website now, Martha's Paper Crafting, that you guys can come and visit. And I will have like free downloads there. There's a class we did. What did we call that class? For the California Dreaming class. You can go in there and look for the download if you want to. It will be there. I have all my Zoom classes there for sale if you want to buy any of those. I think I need to do a second strip. So sometimes I will do this because you need to get them to stay really nice and snug. You see that? And then you have that little tape that's going to hold them in. Just like that. The Mini Elite is coming, I think it said March 1st, which I think is that like Sunday? I think so. And I did buy that. I fell for it. When she said it's the 4-inch opening, then I like that. Because I use it for borders all the time. So it would be really nice to have a smaller machine to have on my desk. I have so much stuff here that you guys just don't even understand. I have so much on my desk. Okay, the end. Woo! Now let's turn this baby around, and I will do the same thing to this side. Do you see? Just right on top. I know that we can do less, but I usually do more. So, okay. website. Go visit me. Go get something, download it for free. I would love if you bought a class. I have all of my classes. There's a year's worth of classes. What are we doing for Crop at Home? No, Create May 26th. I don't know yet. I don't think that I am doing a crop. I have no idea what we are going to be doing. Let's get a little pencil and I'm going to mark this right here. You see, I know I want a 12-inch space for it. So it's going to be right here. And I'm going to cut off that part. And that is Hicks saying hello to the cat. Hicksy, honey, what's going on, babies? What's going on? Yeah, he's very friendly except for when you come to the door when you're not supposed to come to the door. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Are we frozen yet? No, I don't think I'm frozen. Okay, so here's where I would like to put my nap, but I also, when I'm designing something like this, I will do temporary and put it aside and let it rest, let it sleep, and decide if that's where I want it to stay. So we're going to put this right here, right on top. I'm kind of going about 1 inch away from the edge here. Hicksy, baby, what's the matter? He's a big monster German Shepherd, so that's why he sounds so vicious. What in the world is happening? Are the chickens out and about? Let's look. Hicksy, honey. There's nothing there, honey. You're okay. You're okay. Okay. So you see how that's going to sit? And now let's go find our gold trim that sits right on top. You see how pretty that looks? And then I want to find some gorgeous pink ribbon. And I know we have this one that is way too fat for this, but this is what I'm thinking. And you know I love a double-sided beautiful ribbon. And my goodness, honey, nobody's going to ever come and visit us with you scaring everybody on the internet. Okay, you see how pretty that looks there? Just gorgeous. And this is some ribbon that was on one of those sales. Yeah. It was like, I don't know, 12 bucks for a bunch of it. Oh my goodness. I think it's the cat because I didn't see anybody coming. There's no mail. There's nothing being delivered. Okay. So we see that. And I really like the way that is looking. So now we're going to cut this one. And I do kind of cut it big because, you know, I may change my mind. And I do kind of singe the end of this. Hicksy, baby, it's okay. So you have a nice, big, luxurious, fat ribbon here. And, you know, I was kind of thinking I wanted it to stay flat, but I don't want it to stay flat. I'm loving the waves and the motion of this ribbon. I think that it might be more luxurious if it looks like, you know how drapes falling on the floor look more luxurious than just, you know, drapes that are trimmed right on the spot. At least that's what my brain tells me. Okay. So something like that. And then where's our baby at? Okay. Yeah, Hicksy, there you go. Calm down, honey. I know. What in the world is going on outside that you're so upset about? Sometimes we get some horse people drive by, like in their little wagons, and Hicks does not like that. He does not like the little wagons. I think it's because he wants to go pull and play with the horsies. Okay, so now here, that one I'm just kind of folding over. And I haven't permanently set this down. We are going to play with this on Monday. But do you see where I'm going with this, sweethearts? Uh, I don't know where my tape is, my temporary tape, but do you see that? And then we have this lovely that's going to get into some kind of gorgeous frame. And what do we have that can match that one? Am I upside down? Oh my goodness, have I been upside down all this time? Did nobody tell me? Oh no, I'm not upside down. Actually, gorgeous. That's why I like Martha. Sue, I love you too. Okay, you see how that works? This is just, I like the lines that work with the actual die. Now, I know we have a die frame that looks like that. We just have to go find it. I will find it before Monday and we're going to continue. Do you see how that's working? You know, good design doesn't, you can't do it in an hour. You got to give it some time to um, kind of let it resonate and dream about it and see what we have going on. Hey, how are you? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Okay, so do you see how that worked? Nice and easy, fast. Am I frozen now for sure? Ah, my goodness. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'm not. Okay, I'm in frame. Thank you so much. Okay, what do we have going on? Monday, we're going to continue and we're going to talk about this little fillet that we just did because I think we need to get to some scrapbook basics, okay? We need to start talking about scrapbook basics. Scrapbook 101 because something like this works for just about anything, but you need to be able to know that this is working beautifully. This is kind of the same pattern, but this pink is the same tone. It's a smaller print, but if you even go to a lighter color when you're working with tonals, it's going to look fabulous. The 60-30-10 rule, you know what I'm talking about, the gallon pint. What is that other thing called? Gallon pint, a cup. Okay, what do I have going on here? What did we all talk about? I didn't get to see any of the lovely chit chats that you guys were talking about because I was busy designing. So I wish you guys could see the floor. Let's see what we have going on. The page top matches page, pages match the page. Hello, how is everybody doing? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I am a hot mess, literally a hot mess because, yeah. And then we didn't even use any of the embellies and those little butterflies. I'm looking at them thinking where we're going to add those. After Eve Young does the fussy cutting of this page. Thank you, Eve. I think that would be a beautiful second page, right? I think it would be absolutely fabulous, Eve, if this little thing was done. Okay, it looks like I'm spinning, so I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. I will see you here Monday at 3 o'clock, and it looks like I am spinning. Monday, let's go look and write that down. I'm telling you. Are you here with me? Yay! Okay, Monday, 3 p.m. Let's do a part 2. Yes, okay, Monday, 3 p.m. Thank you so much. Love your blouse. Yeah, it's a little dress. Thank you so much. I love you all, and I'll see you here Monday at 3 o'clock. But my Zoom class is tomorrow, and you can still come if you want to. Come on in. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend. Bye. Yeah, and I can show you because the room is a hot mess, right? Like I can show you. Like, look at this room because the camera is still on. I love you too, Annie Pence. Yes, I do. Look at this hot mess of a room. Ah, just craziness all over the place. Like craziness. Okay, my loves. I'll see you later. Bye.